Welcome, baseball fans, to this edition of State of MLB. Today, we'll be covering Game 5 of the ALCS, the Houston Astros at New York Yankees, the final game in the Bronx. And it turns out that the Bronx Bombers finally break through on their home turf and force a Game 6. The storyline of Game 5 was the Empire Strikes Back, playing on the pun that everyone calls the Yankees the evil empire because they've won so many championships and it's just fun to play with. Everyone Houston fans kind of assumed that the Yankees were done. Verlander was going to take care of business, have a second win, complete his just like he did in Game 2, where he took out Paxton. He was going to go ahead and do it again and dominate the Yankees offense and shut them down, and they were going to right into their parade in Houston. Well, the Yankees said not so fast. Paxton was 105 pitches. Great job. Solid Verlander. His pitch count was actually extremely economical. He had a very high first inning, like 29 pitches, then rebounded with 9 pitches in the second inning, and all the rest of the game was very even, around 10, 11, 12 pitches through the 7th inning, at which point Peacock takes over and goes 1 inning. During his 7 innings, he goes 3.95 ERA, 4 earned runs, all in the first inning, and 9 strikeouts. First inning aside, typical dominant Verlander. What happened? Well, in the first inning, the Yankees actually finally got to him. Now, granted, he buttoned up and he shut it down the rest of the game, but damage was already done. Now you figure, okay, Paxton, how long is he going to go? With his erratic nature, with his high pitch count in game 2, what was he going to be able to actually do? Maybe we'll break through against the bullpen again. Maybe we'll get him again. You never know. Well, Paxton has a breakout rebound game, comes in, knows the big game, and actually pitches like it's a big game. 112 pitches, 6 innings, 2.16 ERA, gives up 1 earned run and 9 strikeouts. The bullpen comes through like a charm. Notice Green is not in this bullpen here, or Ottavino. They bring Kinley, Britton, and Chapman. 3 innings, boom, 0 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Less concerned about the strikeouts and more concerned about the fact that they were toe-to-toe with Houston's bullpen, 0 earned runs. The whole game after the first inning, 2 through 9, was just zeros across the board. Which means all the action comes down to the first inning, where you get George Springer scoring on a wild pitch by James Paxton. Outside of that, you don't. Now that's considered an earned run because he still got on base against Paxton, and Paxton did throw a wild pitch to allow him to come in. So there's your earned run. At the same time, a wild pitch is a horrible excuse. That's like a bases loaded walk. I mean, you gotta have better control over your pitching. You can't do that. Ultimately, it didn't make a difference in the end final score, but it wasn't exactly a great way to send the Yankees into their first at bat down in 1-0 hole. Granted, I'll take it over a much bigger hole. That would be much more insurmountable. Anyway, getting back into things here. The Mayhew first inning home run. Then a couple guys get on. Aaron Hicks, welcome back Aaron Hicks, gets a 3-run bomb off of Verlander of all people here. They actually managed to get hits off of Verlander, and that enabled them to catapult to a 4-0 win. And I'll tell you what, Houston fans were waiting for Paxton to break. Yankees fans were on the edge of their seat wondering, oh my God, he's playing with fire here. He's giving walks, he's giving up hits, he's missing the strike zone. He's doing a lot of things that made Yankees fans nervous, and yet he still got out of each inning no matter how much damage he appeared to be letting on. Appeared because not actual damage, he didn't actually score. Which brings us back to the Yankees dropped 2 out of 3 at home, but salvaged the final game of the set here, which means they now go back to Houston and have to play 2 games where they split the first 2. You can't afford a split. If the Yankees are going to win this, they have to take both games. Now, where that plays into Houston's favor is the fact that now they have home turf again. They have their home crowd, and while in the first opportunity to shut them down, they failed to do so. Well, they've got 2 chances left. They've got a lights out bullpen, and it's already been announced by both teams that if it goes to a Game 7, it's going to be Severino versus Garrett Cole. We all know what Garrett Cole is going to do. We all know how dominant he's been, how he clinches those games. He did it in the ALDS against Tampa, and he's going to be available to do it again in Game 7 here. Now, why Game 7? Why not just pitch him on short rest? Because he's never done it before. And the last time they had an elite pitcher, i.e. Justin Verlander, pitch on short rest, he got pummeled. From a manager standpoint, if you know your guy is going to be lights out on relatively normal rest, but you know there's a higher risk of him getting pummeled on short rest, and then that leaves your best pitcher not available in a Game 7 do-or-die situation, you give him the extra day rest and you let him go Game 7, and you kind of put it on the backs of your bullpen, knowing you have a very strong bullpen. If you can get an inning or 2 out of your opener, and then 4 or 5 innings out of the next guy, you can save your bullpen for late innings or extra innings if needed. And then, of course, with Cole going in Game 7, you know you're not going to need much. He's going to give you 7 innings, and he's going to give you a lead. You don't want to go to Game 7 because then anything can happen. It's winner take all. Both teams are even at that point. So what do you do to prevent a Game 7? You line up your bullpen to give your team the best chance to win. Now, neither team has announced who they're actually starting. You know neither of them are going to go deep. They're all bullpen guys. Which begs the question, if you've got either team, if either one wins the ALCS, you've got 3 bona fide starters going into a World Series where you've got 4 in your rotation for Washington, between your Scherzer, your Strasburg, your Anibal Sanchez, your Patrick Corbin. I mean, you got 4 bona fide starters against 3? I mean, really. Paxton, Severino, and Tanaka in New York. Cole, Greinke, and Verlander for Houston. Where is your 4th starter? As good as both teams have been in the American League, where is that depth? Yes, you both have powerful lineups, and you both have great bullpens. Where is your rotation depth here? You got Peacock and others who were starters during the regular season for Peacock and others in Houston and Happ and others in New York. You got starters coming out of the bullpen here. Why aren't you starting your 4th starter here? Now, they did use Peacock in the 8th inning here, which signifies that they're not going to go that route for the Game 6 here in New York. Now, AJ Hinch has proclaimed that he has hinted that he's going to be possibly open with Jose Urquidy, and I apologize if I'm butchering his name, and my best guess would be Green for New York because he did not pitch in that game. He did pitch in the in Game 4. But fundamentally, coming out of the bullpen, Green has not been a very effective reliever. As an opener, he has been very effective more often than not. He had a couple of bad opens, but for the most part, he's had 14 opens during the regular season that he was just like 1, 2, 3, let's go. Given that, it looks like that might be the best way to go for Green. They might even start Happ as an opener. He is a starter legitimately. I just don't know if they want to risk him because he's a decent end of the rotation guy. I just don't know if I trust him in a postseason start. His relief appearances were a disaster. So there's a lot of speculation, a lot of unknowns, and both coaches said they were going to evaluate who their Game 6 starter was going to be on the flight home. Now it's going after noon Eastern Standard Time, and it hasn't been announced yet. Maybe it has during the recording of this video, but I'll check afterwards. Either way, at this point in time, you got question marks on both sides, and this is Game 6 of the ALCS, the American League Championship Series. The two best teams in baseball going into the World Series, and you don't know who's starting. Imagine that. Either way, should New York prevail, it'll be a showdown of the ages. Luis Severino versus Garrett Cole. Granted, it heavily favors Cole, but you've also seen Paxton come back. You don't know what Severino can do, and especially when you have a short reach in Game 7 where everybody is available, it all comes down to how you manage the game. Can your hitters break through against Cole, squeak out a run or two? Can they get home runs off of me? It would happen against Verlander. You don't know. At the same time, it gives Astros fans a nice warm blanket knowing that Cole will start in Game 7, because that way you know that if whatever happens in Game 6, if you need a Game 7, you've got your absolute best pitcher on the mound to bring it home essentially to the World Series. Does that leave him unavailable to start Game 1 on Tuesday against Washington Nationals? Yes, but fundamentally, that also means he'll have the rest to clean it up if they need the help in the back end of the series in Washington. It is a home series. They have home field advantage. Use it. Enjoy it. So we go back to Houston, and we see tonight in Game 6 what happens in the best of the bullpen's face-off here. Well, let me know what you all think about what I think. Please leave your comments in the section below. If you just happen to be coming across YouTube, across this video as you're scrolling through YouTube, please hit like and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for your support. Have a great day and enjoy Game 6.